Okay, so get this. What if the universe wasn't so much created, but coded? We're about to dive into a really wild idea that totally reframes theology through the lens of systems engineering. It presents our reality as a massive, cosmic operating system that's in desperate need of a good debugging. Let's get into it.
The entire premise really kicks off with this one single provocative question. What if we'd been looking at the Bible completely wrong this whole time? I mean, instead of a collection of ancient stories and myths, what if it's actually a piece of encrypted code, a message from the creator that requires a very special key to unlock?
According to this framework, that's exactly what the Bible is, a highly encrypted secret communication sent from the creator. But you gotta ask, why go to all that trouble? Why not just send it in plain text? Well, the reason is pure old-fashioned cybersecurity. The logic behind all this encryption is actually fascinating. The idea is that the entire network of creation was compromised by a malicious entity. Yep, Satan. So sending the truth as plain text would have been like sending your password in an email. It would have been intercepted and deleted immediately. To get around this, the core logic was hidden inside parables. These act kind of like hashing. It's a way to scramble the original message so that only someone with the right key can actually understand it. And that master key in this system, that's the Messiah.
Okay, but before we get to the big system crash, we really need to understand the original design specs. How was this cosmic operating system supposed to function? What was the factory setting for the universe?
At its absolute core, the universe runs on something called the love protocol. You can think of it like a peer-to-peer communication system. Its one and only goal is to maximize a state called joy by facilitating a constant exchange of love between a subject and an object. Now, in this model, this isn't just some nice fluffy idea. It's the fundamental physics of reality. And this slide right here shows the basic building block of literally everything in this system. Every single thing has this dual structure. You've got the sung-song, which is the internal character or the software, and then you have the hyung-sung, the external form or the hardware. It proposes this simple but powerful binary structure for all of reality. So how was all this supposed to stay stable? Well, the system was designed around what's called the four-position foundation. The best way to picture it is as the ultimate perfectly stable circuit. It's designed to create this perpetual, circular energy loop that's centered on the creator and is constantly generating life and energy. This was the original blueprint for perfection. But as we all know too well, that's not exactly the world we experience, is it? Something went catastrophically wrong. The system didn't just get a bug, it experienced a full-blown root-level failure, a total cosmic crash. The source material is very direct about this. All the misery, the conflict, the suffering we see in the world. It's not just a series of bad choices. It's the ongoing error message from that one initial root-level system failure. So how in the world did the hack happen? The source breaks it down almost like a cybersecurity incident report. It all started with a simple input error, an angel experiencing a feeling of lost love. This led to a privilege escalation where that subroutine, Satan, tried to gain unauthorized control. The breach was successful through a lineage hack, giving it access to humanity's core code. And the result of all that? The installation of a rootkit, a nasty program designed to hide deep in the system called Original Sin, which was then deployed to every single human terminal. But a crash is never the end of the story, right? For any good engineer, it's the beginning of the recovery process. And in this model, all of human history is essentially the log file of God's massive debugging operation. The core logic of this whole divine recovery plan is a principle called indemnity, or payback. Think of it like balancing the cosmic books. For every single negative data point, every error, every sin, an equivalent positive input has to be made to offset it and restore the system to its original perfect state. And this recovery plan, it didn't just happen all at once. It was a methodical scale-up. The debugging process started small, at the family level, with figures like Abraham. Then it was expanded to the national level, with Moses and an entire people. And all of that was leading up to the final phase, the global level, where the Messiah arrives to deploy the ultimate OS update for all of humanity. Which brings us right to the present moment, the very conclusion of this vast, historical debugging process. The system, after all this time, is finally ready for a full reboot. This leads to a major shift. The source argues we're moving out of an era of blind faith and into one of logical implementation. The idea is that it's no longer about simply believing. It's about understanding the system's logic and actively participating in the fix.
And so, the final command is given. The system check is complete. The universal reboot is ready to be executed. Run Xi'an Ilguk OS. The new, restored operating system for the universe is set to launch.
And this whole framework leaves us with one final powerful question to consider. If we just accept this premise for a moment, that our reality is a vast operating system undergoing a massive recovery, it really forces us to ask, what is our individual role in all of this? Are we just a user? Or are we part of the debugging team, actively helping to implement the final universal reboot?